Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Documentary Club, a place for documentary lovers. I'm Jeff Jones, and with me, as always, is Jack. Like and subscribe if you enjoy our discussions. Today, we are talking about Lover, Stalker, Killer, a documentary currently streaming on Netflix. Before we get to that, though, I want to welcome Jack into the show. Jack, welcome. Nice to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Really interesting documentary. I really liked this one. I enjoyed re-reviewing it. I forgot how detailed, and like I said before we started the recording, how this is nonstop from beginning basically to the end. Hour and a half, basically, nonstop information. It just doesn't quit, and I appreciated that.
Every time you think that you kind of have a shred of plot that you understand, it gets pulled out. The rug just gets pulled out from under you. This one's going to keep you guessing right up until the end, because this one is wild. If you like just crazy twist story documentaries, you're going to love this one.
And it's really detailed, and the documentarians did a really good job of capturing that.
It must have been 2000. One day, this blonde-haired, good-looking woman started working there.
His dorkiness kind of did attract me.
Before you know it, we had, everything but the white picket fence. So I got a job in the automotive industry, turn and wrench, because that's what I do. Plenty of fish. That's what everybody was using, apparently. That's when Liz came into my life. This was my first real date in years and years.
And I guess you could say this is where his life changes. Wouldn't you say, Jack?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, she's into computers. Remember that.
I wanted to take a look at the next clip where it says he meets Carrie Farver.
Then one day, Carrie Farver came into my life. She was a customer, I was the manager, that was it. A couple weeks later, I'm going through the profiles on the dating site. It was the girl from the shop a couple weeks ago, Carrie Farver. She had a career job. Computers were her thing.
Computers were her thing, too.
Yep.
So, meeting Carrie. Okay, that's Carrie.
Right.
So first we had Liz, then we had Carrie, and Amy's the wife, right?
That's right.
We haven't even taken our coats off, and there's somebody outside.
Yeah.
It's Liz. I need to get something out of your apartment. Carrie and Liz made eye contact for all of 3 seconds, maybe. We're not boyfriend, girlfriend. We're not monogamous. We're not getting married. This is just fun. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Carrie worked 3 blocks from my apartment. So we immediately started spending a ton of time together. And then one morning, I got up at 6 to go to work. About 10:30, I get a text from Carrie. I've been seeing you for 2 weeks. Yes, it's been hot and heavy. It's also been 2 weeks. I'm getting a barrage of texts back. At this point, I'm thinking, no matter how well you hit it off with somebody, you don't really know who they are. Her bags were gone. Her toothbrush was gone. She was gone. I tried to get on with my life like nothing happened. And then out of the blue, I started receiving texts from her again.
Yeah, that's why I wanted that clip introduced, because Liz and Carrie cross paths, and that's a really awkward situation. Her stating we should move in together, that was a real red flag.
Then what happens is Carrie's mom couldn't get a hold of her. The next clip is that the cops are now looking for Dave, looking for the guy. So I kind of want to play that one. I want to play when the cops are.
So I'm at work, and my front counter guy comes back and says, Dave, there's sheriffs up front looking for you. I don't know what's going on here, but it's not funny. The first thing they asked is, do you know Carrie Farver? They told me Carrie's mother had filed a missing persons report. So I pulled my phone out and I showed them all these nasty messages I've been getting from her. Their whole demeanor changed, and it should stop pretty shortly. Nobody stays around that long harassing people.
Or do they, Jack?
Or do they? Wow.
This is just getting started, folks.
No doubt.
Carrie's mom starts getting text messages from Carrie, and it's an
Yes.
important point to keep harping on the whenever Carrie's talking to people, because we get a little hints and secrets about what can come. So here we go. This is Carrie's mom starts getting messages.
She texted me on Mother's Day and said, "Happy Mother's Day," where I was giving 1 to 2 word messages, got steadily nastier and nastier.
It's just building. Like, where is Carrie? No one's seen Carrie. She's off on the deep end.
Because Carrie's been missing for a while, other than these random, I mean, in person. There's text messages, but she's been missing. Anyway.
The case was something we see often, possibly at the initial phases of stalking. But this turned out to be one of the strangest, most unpredictable cases I'd ever worked.
The text from Carrie came from her original phone, but after that they changed. Multiple other phone numbers. You couldn't block them fast enough.
Whoa, Jack.
That's insane.
What are you going to do if this happens to you? What's your reaction?
Turn my phone off, I guess. I don't know, man. That is,
I guess you got to get a new phone.
yeah, send me a new SIM card, new number. I'll pull this one out and throw it in the drawer. Done. New number. Thank you.
Things only get worse, but let's watch the one Liz's house gets set on fire. So Carrie's been missing, and now no one's seen Carrie, and now Liz's house gets set on fire?
Yeah, and Carrie's been missing in person for a while, but a lot of, there's a lot of text messaging.
A lot of text messaging.
That she's somewhere talking.
And going crazy. Manic.
And going crazy. Yeah.
Carrie has lost her mind.
Right. Set Liz's house on fire.
Wow.
It's insane. It's that fatal attraction kind of thing,
Or is it?
Yeah, or is it? Yeah, no doubt.
The investigators do speak to Liz, so I wanted to play that one.
Our investigation at the scene included, of course, speaking to Liz.
All right, why don't you tell me about that?
The guy that I've seen, he has a girlfriend he dated for 2 weeks, and she's been stalking me since November. She kept texting me and telling me she wanted to kill me and my kids. What about my animals?
This is insane now.
It is. Setting someone's house on fire, that raises it to a whole new level of crazy.
It's just baffling that it just keeps escalating and getting worse, right?
That's right.
But then there's a new detective that comes in.
Yes.
And I want to play that part.
Yeah.
I had heard that there's another couple detectives looking into somebody named Carrie Farver as a missing person. Nobody had physically seen her, but she was still communicating via emails and text messages. And so Avis and I went to our boss and asked if we could take over the Carrie Farver case, and he gave us the go-ahead.
Yeah, and these guys are really key to the documentary as well. They really are. But no, just remember, when he starts talking here, it's been a couple of years. No one has seen Carrie.
All of a sudden, Amy, my ex, became a target.
I started getting messages from Carrie.
Wow.
I was terrified.
Wow. She's dropping threats. New threats have come around. Oh, man.
To the ex-wife. They got a couple kids too, so because of these threats, Dave's talking to his dad, and so he gets Dave a 9mm pistol. And of course Dave gets it, puts it in his closet, just in case he needs it.
We continued the case, looking at it through the lens of a death investigation. So in order to figure out what happened to Carrie, we needed to figure out who was sending these messages. Tony Cava worked for our IT department, and he was also a volunteer for our sheriff's office as a deputy.
In the Carrie Farver case, there were hundreds of thousands of email messages. If we could figure out where the messages are coming from, we may be able to find out what happened to Carrie. Whoever was sending these messages was using a lot of different services to hide their real IP address. The solution was to write the program that I needed. I was trying to find a pattern in the chaos. Then I asked the follow-on question, show me the top 10 IP addresses we've seen everywhere in this case. The IP address was connected to a house in Council Bluffs, Iowa. It was the home of a man named Todd Butterbaum. Todd works at Pottawatomie County, and I'm his boss.
Well,
This is the
all
first twist.
Well, he's got to be thinking to himself, what in the hell have I got myself into? Because all these messages, a huge part of them are originating from this guy that works at the sheriff's department. And you're like, what? No.
But it gets more interesting. Good point.
At that point, we had to present him with a search warrant to search his house.
But we also asked if anyone else had been living there with him using his Wi-Fi. He told us that he had a on-again, off-again girlfriend.
Todd's on-again, off-again living girlfriend was called Liz Goliard.
What?
What? It's Liz?
Liz is doing what now? And she was really crafty about it, too.
It was her the whole time?
Looking that way. But
shocker. All right, let's watch this little part yet about her being the stalker.
The sheriff came and told me Liz was the one behind all of it. My brain was spinning. I'm trying to go through the pieces of the puzzle and put them together.
Yeah, me too. Like she burned her own house down with her pets inside.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then called the cops and was like, it's this crazy woman. Feel sorry for me.
And she
This is
probably
crazy.
collected.
So where's Carrie then? That's the real question. I hope you guys that are following along right now are asking yourselves, where the hell's Carrie then?
Right, exactly. And she probably collected insurance on that house.
Oh, so they end up putting a tracker on Liz's car because they want to see where she goes.
They become really interested in her because this really flips the script upside down. Because remember, after that detective had talked to Carrie's mom, it's like, well, what if Carrie's dead? And somebody else is basically taking over her electronic life anyway.
And Dave comes home and then he finds out that gun that he got that his dad said he should get now that's missing. The gun's missing.
I think we kind of got to set that up because of what happens later.
As soon as I opened my closet door, I noticed my gun had been moved. The gun's gone.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I've been shot. I'm at the park by the sheriff's department.
A radio call said that there had been a shooting in Big Lake Park.
Do you know who did it?
No.
There's a news report that says there's a woman shot and her name is Liz Goliard.
So she shot herself, basically. Is that what I'm seeing?
She absolutely shot herself. There's no doubt about it. She stole that gun and shot herself. Insanity. Who does this?
Liz. Liz does this.
Right.
This woman right here. Wow.
Now they're really suspicious about what Liz could have done to Carrie. So they luminol her car.
Yeah, I like that. Let's talk about the luminoling it.
This is Carrie's car. They luminol Carrie's car.
Carrie's car, the one who has physically not been seen.
We processed the vehicle with a blood reagent. This chemical, when it hits blood, will glow under a black light.
Remember what it said in the beginning. Liz owned a cleaning company.
Oh, good point.
You can continue.
That's a good one I did not catch. I want to see what happens. What happens with good old Liz?
So we just want to let you know she's been arrested.
I just like my favorite part coming up here. Now they got her. They've arrested her. And yet she's just going to deny it. Just straight up. No, that's not what happened.
I mean, in Carrie's car, they found a mint container, like search or whatever. Anyway, there was a fingerprint on that mint container. And whose fingerprint was it? It was Liz's. That's right. So that's why they really suspected her of killing Carrie.
The next part is how she lies about it. They pretty much know what she did. She's just going to lie about it. I like this part.
Did you ever see Carrie's car? You ever seen it?
I've never seen her car. I've never been inside her car.
Well,
I've never even been around her car. Ever.
Wow.
Your fingerprints are in there.
I'm not lying.
Are you going to sit in this chair and be remorseful? Or are you going to sit in this chair and be cold-blooded? The IP addresses show up to whose house? Your house. Why would you create all these emails?
I haven't created any emails.
I haven't created any emails. It wasn't me. Wi-Fi, schmi-fi. You guys are targeting me because you don't like me.
Yeah, and she asked for a lawyer right after this anyway, so
Yeah, it's pretty much it on that front.
yeah. She's caught in a web of her own creation. They set this trap for her. We didn't really talk about it too much, but they fed some things to her in one of the phone calls this detective did, and she immediately starts creating more emails that says, this from Amy, and Amy did this, and Amy did that, and blah blah, and all this stuff she keeps trying to create to point towards Amy, but they caught her.
Just one more thing. Do you have any electronics from around November, December 2012?
And I found this old tablet, and it was buried, and it was dusty, and it was dead as a doornail.
It has this micro SD card inserted into it. When I examine that micro SD card,
Nothing's on it. Like it's been wiped clean.
but we can look deeper and we can look for deleted information. Found about 11,000 thumbnail-sized photographs on there.
Another selfie of Liz. Another one.
I thought it was a piece of rosewood. When I took a look at it from a couple different angles, I thought, this looks like a foot. And there is something that happens post-mortem called venous marbling. We're seeing a picture of a dead body.
Right there. Wow.
It becomes a real identifier because, they're thinking, well, did Carrie have any tattoos? So they ask her mom. They produce a picture with her foot, Carrie's foot, with that tattoo. The tattoo is Japanese for mother.
All right, so then we get to see the closure, I guess, in this one, in the verdict.
I remember walking into the courtroom. It was tense.
We were all worried that there was every possibility she could walk out of there.
The court finds, after careful consideration of the evidence,
Sound like it's going to be a not guilty verdict.
has been overcome by the overwhelming amount of evidence. Carrie Farber did not voluntarily disappear. The court finds that the defendant intentionally killed Carrie Farber on or about November 13th, 2012, here in Douglas County, Nebraska.
I got her.
They did. And then what she receives as sentences. I mean, there's other things that, go along in this, but her sentencing, I think, is pretty key too.
I mean, it's a good place as any to stop it on and just to let that reverberate. Sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole, and I think that's appropriate. She's a dangerous, dangerous woman.
She is. And after this, there's a little bit more with Dave, and he talks about if he hadn't, went on the dating side, hadn't met.
He's just blaming himself. He shouldn't do that.
Yeah. And then, of course, then Liz gets involved, and it has snowballed and how it ended up. He's like, if I hadn't done this wouldn't have happened. It's, for him, I'm sure, because he's been through complete hell. His ex-wife's been through hell. Carrie's family's been through hell. We didn't really talk about, Carrie had some mental issues, and so there was this kind of a thing, I think, early on that, Carrie's had a mental whatever break, and she's just run off. She's just gone, which wasn't true at all.
Wasn't true at all.
No, was not.
Well, that's a sad part to this story that, Carrie did lose her life. But what a wild, wild ride of a documentary. As far as I wouldn't know what to do. I've come across some people who are manic like that in the past, but nothing to this extreme. And I'm just glad that I haven't met any people like this before. But what a great documentary. I hope you guys all enjoy it. Jack, what do you got? Any wrap up comments for this one?
No, I think we pretty well covered it. I probably did somewhat justice in the review, but you really need to watch it because to me, it's really intense. And to think about the lengths that someone would go because they didn't really want to get serious with you. Come on,
Mm.
man. That's mental in itself.
It is. Well, I highly recommend this one for you guys out
Yeah.
there.
Same.
So that's it for Documentary Club today. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jack.
And we'll see you on the next one.